Hey cruisers! Unlike other popular cruise destinations like the Caribbean and Mexico, Alaska cruises only take place during a set season. Specifically, you can only cruise to Alaska during the late spring and summer months, April through September, with most lines cruising mid-May through mid-September. We think there are four main things to consider when choosing the best and worst times to cruise to Alaska. Those factors are weather, cost savings, crowds, and wildlife. With that said, it's important to share that we don't believe there is a bad time to cruise to Alaska. Use this information to learn more about what may be better for you, but rest assured that the entire Alaska cruise season offers wonderful opportunities to see the last frontier, and you really can't go wrong. Let's start with weather. The warmest months to visit Alaska are typically June and July, with August and September being cooler and wetter. That's been our personal experience too. While our cruise to Alaska late August, early September was wonderful, it was far more drizzly than our prior cruises in late May and early June. While May is technically supposed to be one of the cooler months to visit Alaska, don't overlook it. It can be incredibly beautiful and sunny, and it's typically far less rainy than the late summer months. Another thing about cruising to Alaska mid-June to mid-July is the amazing amount of daylight. There's a good reason why they call it the land of the midnight sun. For the longest days and the most sunlight, visit Alaska 2 to 3 weeks before or after the summer solstice and the longest day of the year, which is June 21st. How about seeing the northern lights in Alaska? Many people want to know if seeing the northern lights is possible on a cruise. The truth is, it's pretty unlikely. While there's a chance that the skies will be dark enough to see them during the second week of September or so, you're better off booking a land vacation during the winter months to see them. Alaska's northern lights season is between mid-September and late April, peaking in March. No cruises in March, unfortunately. Let's talk about cost savings and crowds for a moment. Visit any cruise line website and you'll immediately see that Alaska cruises in the May and September months are typically quite a bit less expensive. That's because May and September are considered the shoulder season for Alaska cruises. They're less popular, less crowded, and as a result, they almost always offer better off-season deals. We're not exactly sure why this is, but it would seem that the summer months, when families tend to travel together the most, tend to be more popular. Simple supply and demand. But as we mentioned before, when talking about the weather, May can be a glorious time to visit Alaska. Don't let the great early season deals fool you into thinking you need to book during the prime months of June and July. May is one of our favorite times to visit, and we've saved thousands of dollars on cruising to Alaska early season. It's a great strategy. What about seeing wildlife in Alaska? We consulted with some experts on this one because, as you can imagine, it's tricky. According to alaska.org, spotting wildlife can be hit and miss and unpredictable in Alaska. But your best bet of getting photos with wildlife ashore is likely late May and early June, when mothers and their calves or cubs tend to be out and about. However, there is one exception. If you want to do a bear watching shore excursion, prime bear season is not until late June or early July. One quick note about another type of wildlife: mosquitoes. If you want to avoid those little buggers, visit Alaska during the shoulder season. Mosquitoes haven't yet hatched in May, and they've generally died off by September. Either way, pack some bug spray. Trust me on this one. I've had first-hand experience being a tasty mosquito treat on our bear walk in Ketchikan. If you'd like to learn more about the best and worst times to cruise to other destinations like the Caribbean and Mexico, we will link to some helpful resources in the description below, as well as a discount code for our Intro to Cruising Masterclass, where you will find the best cruise travel tips and get access to our Alaska packing list. Are you cruising to Alaska this season? We'd love to hear from you, so be sure to comment below and let us know when you chose to book your cruise to Alaska and on which ship. We want to hear all about it. Until next time, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you on the high seas.